Individuals of Wakanda battle to safeguard their home from mediating world powers as they grieve the passing of Lord T'Challa. Sovereign Ramonda, Shuri, M'Baku, Okoye and the Dora Milaje battle to safeguard the realm of Wakanda from mediating world powers right after Lord T'Challa's demise. As the Wakandans endeavor to embrace their next part, the legends should unite as one with the assistance of Canine, Nakia and Everett and produce another way for their country. At the beginning of ruler T'Challa's passing, attacking powers from around the world objective Wakanda's vibranium, releasing mayhem, and it will be the obligation of Shuri, M'Baku, Nakia and Okoye to shield the country, particularly when a strange Mexican development rises up out of the profundities of the ocean. In 1571, the Yucatan public became sick to the plague. One man tracked down a plant and alongside others, drank it. The substance turned individuals blue and made them unequipped for taking in air. They immediately moved to the sea and made a development in the profound water, Talokan. One of the ones who ingested the plant had a child named Kuk Elkin. The child grew up to become leader of Talokan. At the point when Fen passed on, she requested to be covered on the land. Kuk Elkin drove a few watchmen up to the land where he saw a progress. They went after the development to account for his mom's interment. One of the townspeople referred to him as Namor, signifying the kid without affection. Shuri works in her lab, making a solid attempt to make a counterfeit heart-molded spice to use for her sibling and Wakanda's the best, T'Challa, who is passing on from a sickness. Ramonda gradually strolls into the lab, declaring the ruler's demise. After a year, Wakanda is experiencing difficulty with different countries needing their vibranium. The Dora Milaje find French military men attempting to take from their station. Afterward, Ramonda converses with the unified countries and uncovers the French's endeavor to take. She reminds the nations that despite the fact that the Dark Jaguar is gone, they will in any case battle. At a mining station, Americans mine in the sea utilizing a vibranium finder that was made by a MIT understudy, Riri Williams. They utilize this to find vibranium in the sea. Out of nowhere they go under assault by Talakanals who don't need them taking their vibranium. The final helicopter of survivors is struck somewhere near Namor. In Wakanda, Ramonda and Shuri go to the water and grieve the year since T'Challa's passing. They consume their burial service articles of clothing to mean the finish of the grieving time frame, in spite of Shuri not being totally prepared for this. Namor then, at that point, shows up, getting past the boundary by going under the water. He uncovers to them the presence of Talokan and maintains that their assistance should prevent outsiders from taking vibranium. He additionally makes sense of that Wakanda isn't the main spot that has vibranium, Talokan has it as well. Ramonda reprimands him, stressed of his presence. He lets them know he will kill the researcher who created the machine and that they can help him, however they can't hinder him. Shuri and Okoye go to meet Everett, who gives them the name and area of the youthful researcher, regardless of potentially offering private data. Okoye and Shuri then go to Cambridge, Massachusetts to track down Williams. They follow her to her carport where she uncovers that she is chipping away at an Iron Man type shield. Nonetheless, they are trailed by the FBI. The three move away, Okoye in a vehicle, Shuri in a cruiser, and Williams in her covering. Out of nowhere, they are met by Talakanals, Atuma, and Namora. A short engagement closes in Shuri and Williams getting caught. Ross shows up at the scene the following day and meets with his ex, Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. He additionally tracks down Kimoyo Dabs and conceals them. In Wakanda, Ramonda denounces Okoye for losing Shuri and fires her from her situation as broad. Shuri and Williams awaken in Talokan. Namor shows Shuri the human progress, attempting to persuade her regarding his standards, in any event, giving her his mom's wristband. In any case, she differs in killing Williams. In the interim, Ramonda goes to Haiti to see Nakia, who had left Wakanda 6 years earlier. She requests that Nakia track down Shuri for her. Nakia does a few spying and sorts out the area. She then, at that point, breaks Williams and Shuri out as Ramonda converses with Namor about his arrangement. They return to Wakanda, however just for additional torture as Namor and his kin attack. They flood the city causing a hard and fast conflict. Namor deals with all of the Wakandan vehicles prior to flooding the royal chamber holding Ramonda and Williams. Williams begins suffocating, so Ramonda swims to save her. She can get Williams to somewhere safe and secure, however just to suffocate all the while. Shuri grieves her mom's passing as Namor tells her she is sovereign at this point. He and his kin then, at that point, leave the country. In the meantime, Allegra de Fontaine figures out that Ross has been speaking with Wakanda this entire time and has him captured. M'Baku converses with Shuri after the burial service and gives her ethical judgment that she shouldn't kill Namor. He then tells her he will give lodging to the uprooted Wakandans following the assault. Shuri then, at that point, utilizes Namor's mom's wristband to make the counterfeit heart-formed spice which at last works. She goes to the astral plane subsequent to taking it and is welcomed by Eric Killmonger, who claims they are something similar. They contend a peace before Shuri claims she will kill Namor out of retribution. Shuri awakens and makes herself a suit. She then, at that point, drops into a gathering among M'Baku and the elderly folks as the Dark Jaguar. In planning of the fight, Shuri and Williams understand that they could debilitate Namor by warming his body up to where it can't get oxygen. They then make a second Ironheart reinforcement. Shuri gives Okoye a new defensive layer, acting similar as Iron Man's also, called the 12 PM Holy Messengers. Okoye initiates Annika to be separated of her two-lady group. In the sea, they utilize a vessel to bait the Talacanals into a snare. The fight starts as Namor appears to acquire the upper hand. Be that as it may, Dark Puma traps him in an illustrious Claw warrior as they remove off from the fight. In the interim, the Dora Milaje battle the Talacanals on the vessel while the Jabari clan, Nakia, and the others fight the ones on top. Ironheart and the 12 PM Holy Messengers deal with the airborne Talacanals. Dark Jaguar warms up the Imperial Claw contender, debilitating Namor, yet he starts to break out with his lance. Dark Puma shoots an impact from her vibranium gloves which detonates the entire boat, sending the two foes into the island underneath. The two battle some more until Namor skewers Shuri. Nonetheless, rather than polishing her off, he is more stressed over getting to the water before he bites the dust. A harmed Dark Puma breaks free and gets before the limping Namor. She then, at that point, shouts Wakanda for eternity as she protections up, sending an impact from the detonating Claw warrior into Namor. He is set on fire as he falls. She remains over him to polish him off, yet recalls her sibling, T'Challa. With these recollections of the man he was, she chooses to save Namor's life the length if he gets back to Talokan. Namor has appreciation for the Dark Jaguar and joins her as they return to the battle scene and advise everybody to quit battling. Dark Puma then hollers Wakanda until the end of time indeed as the rest rehash it back. In the outcome, Williams gets back to MIT without her reinforcement as the Wakandans need no discussion with letting her keep it. Shuri leaves for Haiti as opposed to trying for the lofty position, which at last is tested by M'Baku. Afterward, Namor paints in his room as Atuma welcomes him. Namor guarantees her that their new coalition with Wakanda will be helpful. En route to jail, Okoye breaks Ross out of guardianship. In Haiti, Shuri meets with Nakia prior to leaving for the ocean side where she consumes her memorial service stylized robe, permitting her to lament at last. In a mid-credits scene, Shuri discovers that Nakia and T'Challa have a child, Toussaint, who Nakia has been bringing up stealthily distant from the strain of the high position. Toussaint uncovers his Wakandan name as T'Challa.